I want to bring in Senator Roger Wicker, Republican from Mississippi. Senator, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Seems there are at least two major issues here, one of privacy, the other of the big picture of our relationship with Russia. Let me start with what continue to be growing questions over privacy concerns. What's your take on these surveillance programs?
I think they're necessary, and there are privacy protections built in there, and actually I support the program because
so we haven't gone too far.
There are thousands of terrorists out there trying to get to us every day. We stop most of them, but this is an important component of that.
There is also the question that has been raised in the middle of all this about Russia and our relationship. And you wrote an op-ed recently in the Washington Times, and I just want to read a little piece of it. We cannot turn a blind eye to the troubling pattern of defiance and retaliation that has come to characterize Russia's relationship with the United States. It's been this kind of ongoing high-wire act. How do you think the Snowden situation will ultimately be resolved, and what it might mean for America's long-term relationship with the Kremlin?
Well, I'll tell you, there are a growing number of problems with our relationship with Russia. President Putin has been such a disappointment on so many fronts, from the violation of human rights, the Khodorkovsky trial, and the adoption issue, which of course is what I brought a resolution before International Parliamentary Assembly about.
Yeah, can I ask you about that? Because
Sure.
For a lot of people who talk about this, or obviously the people who are in the middle of it, it's been heartbreaking. There was this ban on adoptions, and it left, as I understand, 300 hopeful parents and the Russian orphans they were in the process of adopting just stuck. And I know you've criticized the president for not being aggressive enough on behalf of these pipeline parents, but given President Putin's seeming resolve to thumb his nose at the U.S. however he can, what can be done? How can the administration put pressure to make something happen here?
Oh, okay, the Secretary of State is actually trying to negotiate this. My criticism of President Obama is he meets with President Putin, and at least he should bring it up. The fact that there are 300 nascent families where the parents have actually met the Russian child, and this adoption has been stopped in the middle, to me that rises to a human rights violation. Countries have a right to prohibit adoptions internationally if they want to, but the fact remains we've had 60,000 successful adoptions by American families of Russian children that would otherwise have gone neglected. But when you stop it in the middle of the process, the child has already seen the prospective parents, and they're wondering when mom and dad are coming to get them. To me, that's a human rights violation. I'm glad the Secretary of State has taken this on. I wish the president had mentioned it, and I'm glad that an International Parliamentary Assembly of 57 countries passed my resolution saying that pipeline adoption should not be stopped.
I know that some of these families left hanging, and part of your interest is that these families are from Mississippi. And I'm wondering, in your conversations with them, are they hopeful? Are they losing confidence that this will ever get done?
Well, I'll say they're more resolved. When you're dealing with Russia, it's always long-term, and it's hard to be hopeful. But actually, I met with families from Florida and Ohio. It's not just my home state of Mississippi, which is affected. It's almost every state. Missouri has been very much affected by this. It's a national problem. It's a way that the United States and Russia have worked together, and it's all about children who don't have a hope in their native land, and Americans who want to be responsible families to them. So, I'm not the picture of optimism here, but I think what we need is some resolve, and also we could use a little help from the bully pulpit, the most visible public official in the world, and that's President Obama. I wish he had at least raised the issue with the president of Russia.
Mississippi Senator Roger Wicker, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you very much.